everyone, my name is Michelle and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while. Unfortunately, I'm really busy with university. I just have to tell you the truth. I am hella busy because, of course, if you have been following me for a while, especially on Instagram, you may or may not know that right now I'm attending the second and final year for my master's degree. So I'm approaching final season of the first semester of my last year of university. So really headache, so many things, and unfortunately I'm focusing more on my Instagram. So be sure to follow me over there to stay updated with what I do, especially with my language learning journey. But you know, today I'm here because we're having our first Q&A. Whee! I actually asked you on Instagram to leave me some questions about language learning, so I'm gonna answer them with you right now. We have 6 questions, so let's go. Okay, the first one is, why do you like learning languages so much? Actually, this is a question that I loved, and I have to thank the person who actually left this question in the Q&A box. I know you know, we know. Okay, never mind. Anyway, I like learning languages so much because in the first place, when I was around 7 years old, when I was in elementary school, there was my English professor, my English teacher actually, that always told my mom that I had like some sort of natural talent that, of course, it doesn't exist, but I used to get the sounds of the language, especially in this case the English language, really quickly, and I basically was like a parrot, and I was passionate because with time I understood that learning languages was something that I craved, I actually loved as a hobby itself, because it helped me with connecting with the rest of the world. In the first place, of course, I learned English. English is like my second language basically, even though I still make a lot of mistakes, because of course I'm not a native, and I always make mistakes in Italian too, so it's not really that a big deal. But you know, with English I can connect myself with the rest of the world, like in terms of building friendship, maybe with a career, and especially English helped me meeting all of you guys, because it's the language that I use to connect myself with other people and other cultures, other mindset. And I think this is the real power of languages, and the more languages you learn, the more your brain basically opens, and you realize that there is something valuable in each culture that you get to know too with the language. I hope it makes sense. So next question, what are your morning and evening routines? I don't have basically routines because I tend to be pretty lazy, so sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna skip this for today, but then I skip it for too many times. But usually there are some kind of rituals that I do. So I wake up, I have a nice breakfast because I have low blood pressure, so I cannot skip breakfast, and guys, do not skip breakfast. I usually faint, but this is a whole other thing. And so I have a nice breakfast. I tend to do some skincare real light, because usually I don't really have that much time during the mornings because I have to go to university, or maybe I have some classes online and I tend to rush. So waking up, breakfast, light skincare, what else? I tend to watch vlogs in the morning while I'm having breakfast, or maybe while I'm commuting, because they make me feel motivated. I don't know. Watching vlogs, especially made by Korean and Japanese girls, they tend to give me like, I don't know, like the feeling of it's a new day, I can discover new things. They usually put me on a good mood. When it comes to evening, I really don't have that much of routine. The only things that I do almost on a daily basis are, again, some skincare, and I always plan. I always jot down basically an idea what the following day will be. I tend to use my iPad, I have here, let me just introduce you for a second to my digital planner. It's from Sparkles. I found her on Etsy, and if you want to, I can leave you the link to her shop in the comments. No, well, in the description box. I'm sorry. I'm so used with Instagram that I always say comments, but it's not. It's info box. And as you can see, like, basically there's a to-do list that I usually expand because I tend to do too many things in a day, and then there is like a section for jotting down, basically like Apple or Google Calendar, your day. And I usually do some sort of time blocking to more or less understand how much time every task needs, or maybe when I have some free time to do stuff that I want to, and so on and so forth. And I do this on a daily and weekly basis because I also have a weekly template too, and the weekly template is like this. So more or less, this is what I do on a daily basis. I tend to plan in the evening and do some like skincare and nothing else. Listen to music probably, but I always listen to music, so it's not really that part of the evening routine. Then the third question is, what is your career main goal? Question mark. Next question. No, I'm joking. It's a real question mark because I don't have an idea. I don't have a set idea. I have many ideas. I don't have a main goal because I'm a person that really likes exploring different things. I would like becoming a content creator like I'm doing right now, so doing this full time, but I would also like to work for corporates or maybe in a corporate, so I'm open to many different things. I would like to explore, especially in the first place, to understand what is the thing that I can bring. What is my value? What is my value for this society? So I want to, you know, it's like dabbling in different languages to understand which one you really love, and then you commit to that. I hope it makes sense, because more or less I feel like this way, you know, I am going to enter the adult life in less than a year, or at least I hope so. So I don't have a real clear idea about what I'm gonna do, because I want to explore. I want to be able to get to know myself, to understand what is the thing, what are the working conditions that suit my lifestyle, that suit me as a person the best, in order to make my career goal, to design my career goal, my career like dream, career life like, based on what I experimented with myself and what works best for me. Okay, so the first question is, how many languages can someone learn at the same time? This is actually a question that I get asked very often, and I'm going to answer with something that I learned from a dear friend, Mari. Hi Mari, if you're watching this Q&A video. So my friend told me and other people that were involved in her project, the Polyglot Union, some time ago, almost 1 year ago. She introduced me to this theory of her, and basically you can learn effectively, more or less, 3 to 4, but I tend to say 3 languages at the same time properly. One is a language that you are starting, so that you are a beginning phase, because everything is new. You want to put a lot of effort into language learning for the specific language that you are starting, so you're still beginner level. Then one, an intermediate stage, so you're more or less like around the B level, if you want to use the European reference, like the European reference sheet. You're like around B level, so you already have all the basics figured out basically, and you want to strengthen your knowledge, so you're working on the intermediate level on the language, and then one advanced. So basically you're already used to that language. You use it for other purposes, and maybe you want to focus on a specific field of the language. Like for example, let's take my own experience. Right now I'm more or less tackling with 3 to 4 languages. One is advanced and is English, because I'm studying at university. I am right now focusing on the legal aspects of the English language. I also dabble in scientific aspect of the English language, and then economics. So I'm focusing more on the specific aspects of a single language, and I'm doing this in the language. So I'm using English academically. I hope it makes sense. Then I'm intermediate at Japanese because my basics are figured out. I think that my N5 and 4 knowledge is pretty solid right now, and I'm working on my intermediate knowledge. So N3 and sometimes N2, but this is another story, and I'm pretty mad with at my university for like not designing the program in a way that should be done, at least from my perspective. And then I'm a beginner at Korean. So I'm a beginner. I'm like A1 entering A2. I would like to say that I'm entering A2 in terms of grammar, but I'm A1 in terms of vocabulary. So I'm following the 3 languages step. So 1 advanced, 1 intermediate, and 1 beginner. I think this is the best way because the skills that you need to learn that specific language vary from the level you're at the single language. And well, that's it. So more or less, I would say that 3 languages are the maximum number. But if you are focusing just on 2 or 1, that is even better, because you don't have to divide your time. You don't have to dedicate that many hours to all those different languages. You dedicate all of your time to one language, and you will see and you will notice that your progress will skyrocket, basically. Next question: how do you get out of a study burnout? Well, maybe I will do a separate video about my relationship with Japanese, but I have just recently came out of a study burnout, especially with Japanese. So what really helped me was disconnecting myself from the language learning journey of Japanese for some time. So I decided to take a break, even though unfortunately I could not really take a proper break because majoring in Japanese means that I have to be constant. So I decided to do not attend the classes for the second year because I still have to do the exam for the first year. So if you're not majoring in languages, take a step back, take a break from the language that is giving you bad vibes, basically, and then slowly immerse yourself. Do not take books, do not study actively what you were doing, but basically you have to connect the language with something that you enjoy. And what was working for me and what worked for me was immersing with blogs, because I really like watching blogs. So I decided to give a try to new Japanese vloggers. One of my favorite is, wait a second, I don't want to mispronounce her channel. Well, I have a couple of actually of favorite Japanese study accounts, well, study tubes and vloggers, and my favorite one is Oki's vlog. Then I have Maidon. I really like Maidon lately. Then Chihoru, I really like her. She's really outgoing, and I really always get good vibes from her. And then the study tube that I was talking about is Myorin Cafe. I will leave all the links down below if you're interested and you're curious. Not many Japanese vloggers or YouTubers put subtitles, but actually the majority do. Maybe not about everything, but they basically summarize what they're doing in the captions, which is really useful. Then what I started doing was reading. Reading for me has always been like my nightmare. But I decided to give a try to Myoning, a book about study methods, which is something I am deeply interested in. And it was a game changer because I actually started recognizing and learn new vocabulary that I thought, wow, I could use this with my professor. I could use this with my Japanese friends. So it was a game changer. So more than actually grabbing books and studying again, I decided to immerse myself a lot and doing activities that I like, but in the language that I'm studying at the moment. And the spark of love basically ignited again with Japanese. So this is what really helped me. Then last question for today. How to continue learning the language and not lose the passion after reaching C2 level? Well, this question made me reflect a lot because there's always this misconception of, okay, I got the C2 certification, now I'm fluent, I'm done. Not true at all, because as we are a native, basically, you always make mistakes, you never stop learning, because you know, maybe you grab something like new slang, new vocabulary, so you never stop learning. And especially when you reach the C level, so when you are considered advanced or maybe fluent, what I really enjoy doing is using the language as a mean. So basically, you know, I can say maybe that I'm fluent in English. So, you know, yes, of course, I'm studying at university, so I never stop learning new things. But I tend to use English for almost everything. So when I do research, when I want to get to know something new, or maybe I'm interested in a new hobby, or maybe there's something that is tickling my mind and I really need to look for that, I always use English. So use the language that you're fluent in to basically do the things that you would do in your native language. Searching things on Google, starting new hobbies, maybe well, that's the things that I always do. And for example, I almost never lose the passion to use the language because I'm not learning it, I'm using it, which is completely different. These are two completely different mindsets and two completely different ways of learning a language. Because actually, well, yes, I'm still learning and I will never stop learning English because languages evolve. And what really makes me happy, and this is why I think that my relationship with English was always pretty good, I would say, is because I can use the language to connect myself with the rest of the world. This is specific, I think, to the English language, but I think that once I will maybe in the future be fluent in Japanese, I would definitely love to do some extra projects in Japanese. Maybe, who knows, maybe a study room account, or maybe do some videos in Japanese. So I will probably start using more Japanese to connect with Japanese people. So I think this is the key, is changing your perspective. You're not learning the language anymore because you can use it, but you have to make the language part of your daily life. So that's all. Guys, I finished the questions for today. I hope that you enjoyed this really nice Q&A video. I really like this really chill vibes, I have to say. And I hope you actually enjoyed this video. So if you are interested in language learning, stay productive, study things, because these are the things that I love and I'm passionate about, feel free to subscribe to this channel and feel also free to follow me on Instagram to stay updated on a daily basis with me. Bye guys, have a nice day.